Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Marissa and I'm really glad that you guys stopped by. In today's video, I am showing you what I made for Thanksgiving. I don't have any end clips of these. I was so into the moment of spending Thanksgiving with family that I forgot to show the finished product and the tasting of it, but I assure you it was all very, very, very good. So I'm going to start out here with my sweet potato casserole. I know that looks burnt. It is not. It is flavor, and it's very good flavor. First thing I do is bake my sweet potatoes. I prefer to do it this way. I just think it makes for a better, tastier casserole. So I've baked them and I've let them cool, and so they're very easy to hold right now. They're not hot at all. I'm gonna get them all peeled, and then I'm just going to throw the rest of my ingredients into the mixer with the sweet potatoes. For me, I think this is the easiest way to peel sweet potatoes is put on a pair of gloves and just go at it. Once I have all the potatoes peeled, I'm going to start adding the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to add 2 sticks of melted butter or 1 cup. Three-fourths of a cup of heavy cream. You can use milk, half and half, whatever you have on hand. And again, I do not measure. I just kind of wing it. I've made this casserole so many times. I know I can eyeball the ingredients, and I measure with my heart. And then I'm going to add 3 large eggs. One cup of sugar, that is a half cup scoop. I'm going to sprinkle in some pumpkin pie spice, maybe a teaspoon or so. And then last, we're going to add a pinch of salt. After this, you're just going to put it under your mixer paddle and just get it mixed together thoroughly until there are no more lumps. And here I stopped it because I forgot to add my vanilla. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla as well. While I was mixing my sweet potatoes, I wanted to go ahead and get my eggs, or deviled eggs, or angel eggs as my family calls them. I'm getting them in the pot and ready for boiling. The way I do my deviled eggs or angel eggs is I will fill the pot with the eggs, cover them with water, and then I add a little bit of salt and a little bit of baking soda. And then when they come to a boil, I boil them for 15 minutes. And then as soon as they are done, I'll take them off the eye, cover them with ice, let the ice melt, and then I will start to peel them. It's not always successful for me, but for the most part, doing it this way, I have more good than bad peels on the eggs. So I'm going to get those started here in just a moment. So I'm going to stop my potatoes and give them a quick taste, and they were perfect. In fact, I think these were some of my favorite that I have made yet. Then I'm going to get these in a greased 9 by 13 baking dish. Actually, no, scratch that. I forgot. I'm splitting this recipe up. This is one recipe for a 9 by 13 casserole dish, but not everybody on my side of the family and not everybody on my husband's side of the family likes sweet potatoes, so I'm actually going to split this up into 2 8 by 8 baking dishes. So here I am just going to make a crisp topping. I have made this before in other videos. I think when I've made apple crisp, I don't know if I've made anything else with it, but this is my basic crisp topping recipe. I add equal parts flour, brown sugar, oats, butter, and then some cinnamon. You can also add chopped pecans to this if you want to. I actually don't prefer pecans on my sweet potato casserole, so I leave those out. Now this first one right here, I am just going to top half of it with the crisp topping, because this one is going to my mom and dad's house, and my dad actually prefers it with marshmallows. So I'm doing half with crisp, and then the other half will be with marshmallow topping, and then the other one is for my father-in-law's house. So now I'm just going to get these wrapped up and into the refrigerator. I will pull them out in the morning and let them set to room temperature for a little bit, and then bake them at 375 for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then they will be ready. And these really did turn out so good. They were very delicious. This next dish that I'm going to make, I have also made before on this channel. I think when I have made this on the channel for you guys, I've done it with different things in it, like vegetables or meat or something. But this is just the basic hash brown casserole that I fix. It is actually my sister Susie's recipe, except she puts onions in hers and I just put minced onion in mine. Not everybody likes onion, so I just added a little flavor with the minced onion. So I'm going to take my bag of hash browns. You can get a 32-ounce bag. I think this was a 32 or a 36. Anyway, it's a bag of the shredded hash browns. And then to it, I'm going to add a stick of melted butter. There's my minced onions. And then it is a cup of sour cream, a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, salt and pepper, and then 1 can of cream of chicken soup. And then you get all of that incorporated together, mix it up really, really well, put it in a 9x13 baking dish. And this one will go into one baking dish, because this dish is going to just my father-in-law's. My sister Tara asks me to make this every year. And usually I will add, well, again, I'm going to wrap this up and put it in the refrigerator, and then do the same thing as I did with the sweet potatoes. Get it out in the morning, let it come to room temperature a little bit. Then I'm going to bake it at 375 as well for about 30 to 40 minutes. The good thing about everything that I had to bake, they were at the same temperature and same time, so it worked out really well. But for the topping, my sister usually, and I do too, it'll bake for 30 minutes, and then if it's nice and bubbly and browning already on top, we'll pull it out and we will sprinkle French's fried onions on top of it and put it back in the oven for another 3 to 5 minutes. You do not want those to burn, because they will burn very quickly. However, I forgot to add those to my shopping list, my grocery list. So I didn't have those to use, but I did have some Ritz crackers. So I melted some butter, crumbled up some Ritz crackers, and that was the topping, and it was very good also. Next, I am making my broccoli and cheese casserole. Again, this is something that my sister-in-law Tara asks me to make every year, and it's funny because every year I make this. I like broccoli and cheese casserole, but I think it's one of those things, for me, I could take it or leave it. And so this year, I don't know, it just didn't taste as good to me. But then again, I've had COVID. COVID has messed up my taste buds terribly. And anyway, Rob's cousin came up to me and said that that's one of the dishes she looks forward to every year. And that just made me smile. She made my day. The recipe that I use calls for 4 cups of broccoli. I don't like chunks of broccoli in anything that I make really that has broccoli in it. I'd rather have it chopped up finely. So I am taking 4 bags of steamable broccoli and putting them into my Ninja, and I'm just going to chop it up as finely as I can. Once I have all the broccoli chopped and into the bowl, I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. Here I am going to add 2 eggs, a fourth of a cup of melted butter or half a stick, about a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, or you could do like I did and put the whole bag in there. I think that was actually 2 cups. I mean, honestly, the cheesier the better. Then you're going to add some salt and pepper, about anywhere from a half a cup to 1 cup of mayonnaise, and 1 can of cream of chicken soup. Then you're going to get all of this mixed very well together and put it into a 9 by 13 greased casserole dish. Again, this one is just going to my father-in-law's house, so I just needed 1. So now I'm going to get 4 sticks of butter or 2 cups of butter melted, because I'm going to make the Ritz cracker topping for both the broccoli and cheese casserole and the hash brown casserole. And I'm just going to melt this up, and then I'm going to crush up my Ritz crackers, mix it all together, and put it on the top of each casserole. Both of these, again, I'm going to wrap up, put it in the refrigerator, get it out in the next morning, put it in a 375-degree oven, and bake for 30 to 45 minutes. And now we are moving on to the angel eggs. I had forgotten to cover these with the ice when they were through. I just had too many things going on at once, but they did fairly well. I was running them under cold water while I was peeling them. I think I only had 1 egg that was mutilated in the peeling process. So I just threw the whole egg into my yolks when I'm making the yolk mixture. And honestly, I usually do that anyway. I typically will add a whole egg to it just to bulk it up a little bit and let that creamy inside go a little further. And so now I'm just going to cut them in half, get all of the eggs sliced down the middle. You can do it either way, horizontal, vertical, however you want to do it. And get all of the inside scraped out. And then let me just say it this way. To this recipe, I am just going to add a little bit of mayonnaise, a little bit of mustard, salt, pepper, and some pickle juice. And these are really, really good. If I were making these for just my household, I would use dill relish instead of just pickle juice. But not everybody, these are actually going to my mom and dad's house, and not everybody over there likes the chunky pickles, the pickle relish, and the eggs. So I just did this batch with the pickle juice, and this was actually some pickles that I had canned myself, so I was very happy that they were delicious. It turned out really good. Some people will make their deviled eggs with vinegar. I am not a fan. My father-in-law, though, that's how he likes them. But I prefer the pickle juice. Once you get all of your ingredients together, do little bits at a time. You can always add more, but if you get your yolks too runny, then you can't take back what you put in. So if you're unsure, go a little bit at a time. I think I had 20 eggs. Let me see. No, I had 10 eggs. Okay, I started with 12 eggs. One of them got mutilated. I added the whole thing to the yolk mixture, and so I ended up with 20 angel egg halves. And I think I don't know. I don't measure. I just kind of eyeball it. So let's just say maybe a tablespoon of mayonnaise, half tablespoon of mustard, a good pinch of salt and pepper, and then a couple of quick dashes of pickle juice. That's what I'm going to say the recipe is. And it turned out really good. So I'm pouring it all into what is that thing? It's a baggie. Ziploc baggie. I'm going to cut the end of it off, and this is, to me, the easiest way to fill all the eggs. And other than some rolls, that was everything that I took to both sides of the family's Thanksgiving dinners. Okay, so this last clip that I'm going to share with you all is my sad attempt at a birthday cake. Well, the cake itself wasn't sad. It was just, I tried to write happy birthday on it, and that was pitiful. I am not a baker. I am definitely not a cake decorator. But every year every year, it's been a lot of years. I think my niece she turned 12. And probably, I would say, at least the last 6 or 7 years, I have made her birthday cake, cupcakes, whatever the case may be. And some of them I have been really thrilled with and tickled with. And honestly, this one didn't turn out bad. I was just disappointed that I wasn't able to write on it. And believe me, you will see, I gave it many, many tries. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Well, I did, and it just, you'll see, it didn't get on there, and I'll just leave it at that. But I baked a half-sheet yellow cake, and then this is my homemade icing. The cake mixes are just regular box mixes, and you just double it and bake it. And then this is my homemade buttercream icing. And y'all, now everybody said the icing was delicious and it tasted great. And I mentioned earlier that COVID has messed up my taste buds, because I'm telling you right now, this icing tasted like tacos to me. Tacos. Nobody else said it tasted like tacos, but I kid you not, it tasted like tacos. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you how I made it. It's very simple. It's butter, powdered sugar, vanilla, and heavy whipping cream. And you just, let's see, I made a bunch of it. So I think one recipe would be like 2 sticks of butter. So a cup of butter, not margarine, butter. And you can use salted or unsalted. It really doesn't matter. And then I think it's 4 cups of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then your heavy whipping cream is there if it's getting too stiff, so that you can loosen it up some more. And so I made a couple of batches of this. I wanted the white because I was going to try to do white lettering. It did not work. And then I mixed the white and the blue together to kind of give it an, what is that called? Ombre? Yeah, look to it. Anyway, you just have to have fun with it. This isn't what I do. When I was catering and people would ask about weddings and stuff like that, I could cook them a feast, no problem. But I had to send them somewhere else when it came to making a cake. Actually, there, in all the years that I did catering, I think it was about 8 years, I only did one cake for a wedding, and it was for my niece because all she wanted was a just a top cake, like a top layer regular cake for her and her husband to cut into, because they had all kinds of, they had like a dessert bar. And so this cake was just for them. And so I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And I'm going to tell you, everything was going well. It looked pretty. I was so excited about it. And then during the ceremony, they had an outside wedding, and it was in the middle of July, June or July. And the icing started melting. And while the ceremony was going on, I happened to look over and saw the cake melting off of the pedestal. Let me insert some pictures right here. We worked it out so that the front still looked pretty, and they just cut from the back. We did the best we could with it. All right, guys, I'm going to give it one more try and see if this works. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to consider subscribing. I will be starting Vlogmas this Friday, December the 1st. So until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.